And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, December the 10th. Making sure it's right, otherwise I'll get a call. 2022, it is Season 16, Episode 42. I'm Scott.
I'm RJ.
I'm Wendy.
Yeah, I need to bump your mic up just a little bit more there.
I'm Wendy.
There you go.
Much better.
Yeah, it's much better. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, our phone number is 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. You can find us, of course, on Twitter at InGameChat. You can find us on Facebook there as well. Email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. Streaming right now on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv, type in InGameChat. You'll be able to find us and watch us live while we broadcast. You can also join us in the chat room there. And don't forget Discord as well. We're on Discord, which is where you can log in, talk to us. We'll put you right on the air, and it sounds better than the phone, actually, to be honest with you. But you can still call us. Either way, doesn't matter. Welcome to the show. And happy holidays.
Just trying to be festive, that's all.
You know better than that.
I know.
Just stay in your lane. Festive is not your lane.
No, it's not.
That's what I meant, by the way, by stay in your lane. It was not, that's the only thing that I meant by that. Was that, yeah, festive. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. It is the show after the big game award show, which means we have a ton of reveals and trailers and awards to talk about. And honestly, not much complaining. I'm sure I'll find some complaining to do, but I don't really feel like there's much to complain about. It was doing what it always does, and I just figured, okay. There was lead into this thing where they said, where Jeff Keighley had said that he was going to be cutting back on the length of the show. That was not at all apparent whatsoever. It was still 3 hours. It started at 7, it ended at 10. So I don't think that's any different than any of the previous.
So if he scaled it back, does it mean there's more time for commercials?
Commercials being new game reveals, possibly, yes. There weren't really, I mean, there were commercials, but it was commercials showing off a new game, or it was some kind of computer tech advertising type stuff. It wasn't a massive amount of those.
Yeah. So still saying he was going to cut back, but it's still a 3 hour block.
It still ended up being 3 hours.
Yeah. So.
And I don't know how much of a cutback that actually was. But yeah, there were, lethal migraine. How unfortunate. Yeah. There was a few surprises, I wasn't sure which way, the battle between God of War and Elden Ring was going to go. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like God of War was going to pull ahead and sweep the whole thing. Everything that they kept winning throughout the whole thing. And then there were a few where when Elden Ring was the only thing nominated, it was the one that won. Mm-hmm. Until we got to Game of the Year. And of course, Game of the Year went to Elden Ring. Mm-hmm. Which I think I mentioned, I think I said that it was going to win. Mm-hmm. Or at least it was my pick to win Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Over God of War.
Yeah.
And only my pick to win because of the massive amount of people that it brought into that genre of gaming.
Yeah.
And so I just thought, no, I think that's got a bigger impact than what God of War has. Also, the fact that it's multi-platform. I know these are things that are probably not taken into account, to be honest with you, for judging. I have no idea what.
I would think that the number of people who played it is, and that bring up what you were saying, that would be a detriment, seeing it as God of War is console exclusive, and Elden Ring is all over the place.
Yeah.
Now I thought that God of War, the possibility of it winning would be from the hot new thing near the end of the year anyway.
Yeah.
The thing that's fresh on.
Well, we talked about that. We thought the momentum was going to carry.
Momentum was going to carry it into there, but because Elden Ring came out February, March, but the numbers that it made was just spectacular.
I think it walked away with 2, maybe 3 awards. God of War, I think, came away with maybe 5 awards. I can't. We've got the whole list, and we'll go through them coming up. But before we dive into all of that and talk about, and critique it and go over the list and everything else, let's talk about what we've been playing. And well, God, Wendy, we haven't talked to you in forever.
I know.
So let's start with you first. Do you have a list of anything? You've been playing Cult of the Lamb. That's
yes.
new since you've been on the show.
Yes, I mean, yeah. It hasn't come out yet. The last time you were here, it was not released. Yeah, so waiting.
Cult of the Lamb.
Cult of the Lamb, and I've been watching you with
God of War.
And I told him I have a newfound.
She really likes Kratos.
I have
appreciation.
I do like Kratos.
She got a game crush.
I do. I have a game crush.
Okay.
Kratos.
She really likes Kratos.
I really like him. I like his voice and just his no nonsense. Just like do it this way. Yes.
This is your first exposure to Kratos?
She watched me play the first one. Yeah.
I mean, the first of the
reboot, 2018
reboot. The ones prior to that, the originals.
No.
Okay.
She hadn't seen that.
Okay. Yeah, the dark past, which he just only talks about really in since the reboot, right?
Yeah, well, you played them.
Of course,
you played them in the previous games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that dark path of like I'm killing every single god, Greek god out there.
Yeah,
for what they did to me, that sort of thing, and just went on a murder spree.
Yeah. Your favorite genre, as we recall.
Geriatrics. Yeah. Well. Yeah. She really likes him.
Apparently, I do.
Yeah. Apparently. What else? Do you play anything else? I guess that's mostly it. Didn't you try? You tried and play a few games on Xbox Game Pass. You tried to play Scorn.
I did.
And couldn't do anything with that.
I really wanted to like that. I really did, but I was disappointed.
There was another one that you played that I was helping you with. Man, I cannot remember what it's called. It's a relatively, I want to say new game, but probably new over the summer game.
What's the genre?
That's a good question. It felt like it was a, oh man, it has to do with dice.
Demon dice, devil dice?
I can't remember what it was called.
Was it a card type game, was it?
No. It was a video game that involved chance, random.
Yes.
Lost in Random? Maybe that was the name of the game? I can't remember. She put a little effort into that one, a little time. Tried to play Superliminal, I think, a few times. So, yeah, just jumping into things, jumping out of things. Played Unpacking, which we played a lot of that of.
I like Unpacking.
Yeah, just some puzzle stuff. So,
I did find my glasses, so I can get back on the VR, the headset, and
which I updated, and you haven't done anything with yet.
Well, I told you I have glasses now.
Oh yeah, no,
and I have the time, so
all right. So yeah, there's that. RJ, what about you? Anything else that you can think of? By the way, anything? I can't. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. RJ, what about you?
I'm still playing Warframe. I'm still unlocking planets to go to. I was able to finally unlock some new quests because I was stuck on a certain area and I couldn't get to it until I did a certain quest in game, which I couldn't get to because I had 2 other quests I had to do before that one.
Yeah,
which I couldn't get to because I didn't unlock all the areas in the planets. So it's like a bunch of backtracking, seeing the areas that I could go to. I was able to find some places I could go to, and I was able to expand my areas and get to. I think I've unlocked 3 planets that I can go through now. So I can go through all the missions there, unlock relays to other planets, and I can get where I need to go, so I can progress the story along where I want to. The only thing really is I'm finding new play types, new play modes that I never experienced before. So I'm having a rough time dealing with that, and also discovered that there are things that I've got in my inventory that I never knew about until I needed it. For instance, specters. I didn't know that I could make a clone of my current Warframe and have it assist me in certain missions.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that. All this time I've had the game, but playing it sporadically, I didn't know I had a Spectre that could assist me. So in those missions where I have to capture 4 different, capture the flag, capture 4 zones, and I'm like solo, it was nice to have a Spectre with me to hang back or trail me as I go around this area trying to capture these zones. And I was finally able to do it with the help of the Spectre. So it was nice to know that I have gear and assistance that I can use to get what I need done in the game.
Don't feel bad about that, because recently, probably as of it was last season of Destiny, so within the past month, I discovered something in Destiny that's been there for God knows how many years. I'd never. There's certain weapons that you get from doing the greater challenging things. They're called adept weapons. They're the same versions of regular weapons, but they are adept because they have more specific roles and stuff that kind of roles you really want with weapons like that. However, there are things called adept mods, which I had no idea. When you're adding mods to your weapon, like backup mag to extend the magazine, or something that prevents recoil, little things you add onto them.
Okay, now are you adding mods, or are you just selecting the stuff that's already given to you?
This is adding a mod. So down there, so when you look at a weapon, you've got those 3 things at the bottom where you can infuse, or you can upgrade it to level 3, 4, 5, 6, depending on if it's handling, range. Do you know what I'm talking?
Okay, yeah. I was trying to remember what it was, because one of the things that got me about weapons was it was like pre-loaded with whatever specs or.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the perks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about under that there are mods
I remember those
that can be added, which is, like I said, there's a boss spec you can add to it, so it deals greater damage to bosses or minions or things like that. Well, in the choice of all those mods, if you click the arrow to turn the page, there's a whole other page of mods for adept guns that I didn't know existed. If you have adept guns, there's the adept mods. And it increases your range to, greater than 10, or it increases your stability greater than 10, or it adds full auto. Well, no, full autos on anything. But anyway.
Yeah, but in the difference between our case is that Warframe, I've only started playing it up recently.
I know.
But you've been playing Destiny and for like constantly.
And I still didn't know that was there.
Was it you sure it wasn't a recent update or something with a new?
Nah, man, adept weapons have been around for years, and I had no idea that they were there. I honestly had no idea. They've been there at least 2 years.
Okay.
At least. I would say more than that.
And there's nothing on the thing that indicates next page.
Other than the arrow.
And it doesn't say what
but it doesn't blink or anything like that. It's just there. Yeah.
So if you're looking, you're not going to find the things you're not looking for.
Well, that's happened to me before at some of the vendors. I would go to the vendors who have here's the bounties for what I'm doing. Like if you go to what's his name, Shax.
Yeah.
So he's the multiplayer guy. So here's all his bounties, and then there's some gear as well. There's a second page that I always forget is there. I look at that first thing, I grab my bounties, I walk away. But if you hit the second page, there's more stuff, to look at, to do, to earn, to whatever. I just forget that it's there most of the time. It's not something I need. Used to, you'd have to go to the second page to pick up whatever the quest was for that particular, vendor, I guess. So yeah, but I had no idea we had adept mods. So don't feel bad about not knowing about that. I can beat you for playing something that long and that much. Not just that long, but that much, and not knowing it was there.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, the thing about it is finding all these new planets. Like I said, new planets, new quests, new material, new building materials, new items, new blueprints, things of that nature. So it's still nice finding all these new things and seeing what they can do and how best I can use them. But I'll still say that you ever get a weapon? I'm kind of like doing this like I did in Destiny. I got a weapon that I've liked.
You're just gonna, yeah.
I'm just probably going to keep building it up till it can't be built anymore.
Wow.
The Quartac, basically.
I have weapon commitment issues as well.
Yeah.
Something that is just like I don't want to let this go. I don't want to find something new. I just want this.
Well, if you play it like me, you don't have to. That thing's been stuck in my inventory for like ever since I got the thing. Never.
I don't know how Warframe works, but I know in Destiny you mostly have to move with the meta. So if the meta is
and how long was I using a Song of
I know exactly. I know.
I couldn't upgrade anymore. Couldn't do this anymore. But
still kept going with it.
I still kept going with
which
it.
Which is, honestly, which is fine because in multiplayer, which is not the fun thing to do, multiplayer.
No.
Levels don't matter in most of that. So you can use a gun from 7 years ago in a 10-year-old game.
Mm-hmm. Look, the bullet still went clear across the screen. It still had the longest range of any weapon I got. I mean, including sniper rifles. So. Yeah, I'm going to keep using that thing.
Go for it.
So have at it. But found a weapon like that I can use and keep building up. So I'm still working on that. So yeah, it's just a bunch of discovery basically with Warframe, and so I'm still going, seeing how much I can pick up, how much I can unlock, and how far I can go with it.
Did you play anything else?
Nope, just that. Yeah,
okay,
just Warframe.
Yeah. As for me, obviously, I've been playing God of War Ragnarok. I'm at a certain location now. That I told you I've opened up new areas, so now it's all secondary quest stuff is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
I am so far removed from the main storyline because I've opened up all these things, and I've Joey, who's on the show that's after the morning show that I'm on with here in the mornings, Monday through Friday. He was saying, "Hey, you're playing God of War." He's apparently watching somebody play God of War. Mm-hmm. And I told him where I was and that sort of thing, and he said, "Nah, this guy's much further." And I said, "He probably is. Number one, he's probably playing that for that reason, and secondly, I don't go back. Like I did this with Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I've done it with almost every game that has this narrative story.
We said that the story games are not the games that you replay over again. It's like watching a movie and then 2 hours later watching it again.
Yeah, I'll replay it maybe. Yeah. Look what I did with God of War. It came out. 2019. So the game released in 2018. In 2019, I finally played it and finished it, and then in 2022, I replayed it again.
Yeah,
and went through it real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, when I'm first playing a game, if I go through this and finish it, my motivation to go back and do anything else is gone. I feel like everything that I do is building me up to the end of that game.
Yeah.
In fact, we came across, Wendy came across some enemies the other day. We were doing our exploring. I was going through and finding new paths, and there was one of those areas where you can reach into the black void and pull out an enemy or whatever. Sometimes you pull out treasure. Sometimes you pull out an enemy. Well, this was an enemy. 2 purple bar enemies, which health bar colors in God of War tell you, if it's
boss.
No. Like,
because I think I saw a battle with Heimdall that was a purple bar at the top or something.
Like red is normal. Yeah. Yellow is like, hey, they're a little bit heavier than you. Purple is higher than that. Purple means you might want
a level higher. Than
you may want to come back later. So I popped that open, and 2 of these enemies sprung out, and I thought, nope, this is not going to work. No. This is not going to work. I got to come back, and I will come back, but yeah, I just feel like going too far or getting to the end and still having stuff left over, I have no motivation to do them. So that's why I kind of want 2 reasons. I want to do it to build up my level, to build up my power, to get myself prepared for the boss fights or whatever else that's coming later on. Secondly, I want to experience as much as I can because I know when I finish the game, once the story's wrapped, I don't feel like I got any reason to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said with like building up, like you do that in the Soul series. You have to play New Game Plus to get the higher levels that you want to get the stats that you need to pick up and use the weapons that you pick up. Like, for instance, you have a weapon that requires 60 units of strength. You're not getting that in. Most likely, you won't get that.
Interesting. The weapons have requirement. Okay.
Yeah, the weapons have requirement. Like I think one of the hammers in Elden Ring requires giant hammer requires 60 units of strength to even pick up. If you want, there's a shortcut. You can get it with 30 strength, but you have to use it two-handed.
Oh, okay.
But if you have a shield, you can't use your shield.
Yeah.
You got to be able to two-hand the weapon to even use the thing. So you're usually not going to get to 60 with one playthrough. You have to play it again and probably again. Because you're probably having multiple builds and tasks with
now, when you're playing those, when you're going through those playthroughs, are you not finding other weapons that are?
Oh, you find other weapons, yeah.
That are also are they raising in ability? Are they?
No. It's just they're all locked in one location.
Okay, so I got you. So the weapons are locked. They do not scale with your level. They are.
It's like if it requires 60 units of strength to use, it's going to be 60 units of strength to use.
Right. If you get up to 60, you're not going to find that weapon somewhere in the game now requiring you to have 80.
80. No, nothing like that. No, the only thing that scales is depending on your stats. Like a weapon
enemy
like
scale,
that,
right?
Enemies scale up in terms of how much they hurt you and how much souls they give you.
But based on your level, right?
Yeah, based on the level of the game. New Game Plus, it's like they'll pick up depending on the level of the game. So if you go through the game once and you're like a New Game Plus, the enemy is more durable, but you're still powerful enough to take them out one shot, one hit.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're leveled up that much. But the only thing that scales on the weapons in the Soul series is really based on your stats. Like a weapon like the giant hammer scales with strength. The more units you put in your strength, the harder it hits. So if you're like 60 to use, but if you're at like 80, the thing hits a heck of a lot harder than it would if you were at 60 just to pick the thing up.
Interesting. So if your strength's at 100 and it costs 60 to wield the weapon, you're gonna be hitting it.
You're gonna be hitting
with
really
harder.
Weapon.
Okay,
you're
gotcha.
Hitting it much harder.
Whereas if you had just hit bare minimum, like your strength is 65 and you need 60 to pick up this weapon, you're using basically the baseline.
Yeah, the baseline. Yeah, it's effective, but not as effective as it could be if you put more.
Does it reduce in half if you use the two-handed approach?
The requirements to pick the thing up is cut in half if you use it two-handed. But then does the damage dealt? Damage. I think it does because two-handed is more effective than one-handing, I believe. But I'm not, to what degree I'm not sure.
That's interesting
because I'm used to using a shield with everything I use.
Right.
I rarely use two-handed attacks. So I think it does build up a little bit, but not by much. I could be wrong on that though.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like that. Or we're talking about replaying story modes. I think the only one I did that for was like Dead Space because there was something in there I wanted to achieve. The hardcore mode with 2.
Right.
Where you had only like 3 saves throughout the entire game. That thing to unlock the foam hand weapon.
Yeah.
Where Isaac says
pew pew pew
and bang bang.
I wanted to do that, I think, with Spider-Man only for the fact that I was I was trophy hunting at that point. I wanted to go through the DLC, get all the trophies for that, and then go through the game again on New Game Plus to get the platinum, basically, is all I needed, which I never actually did because I ran into something with those mini games.
You ever do that? You ever seek platinum?
I only seek it basically after I've finished a game or I get into a game. I'll look and see how my progression is.
Yeah.
And I'll start looking at some of the trophies that I haven't unlocked yet just to see what they are. You know, if it's feasible, I'll look at it and say, hey, I might get platinum this. I should give it a go. But if it's not like get this many kills in multiplayer or some stupid thing like that, I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah, I think I've only done that with Ghost of Tsushima. It looked feasible.
Yeah.
I could possibly do this. All I got to do is find this and that, and I've gotten most of everything else. If it looks like it's within reach, you probably go for it. But yeah, the one I had for Dead Space, I think it was like something that you had to like do multiplayer or play with a partner on this and do that. And this was like old game, and I'm like, not going to happen. So yeah, that's not going to be done.
Yeah, Steve Duke Frucom's our achievement hunter of the group, I suppose, because that man, whether it be PC or Xbox or PlayStation, man, he goes after it. He deliberately goes after it. He used to anyway. I don't know if he goes that hard at it now that he's a dad. But yeah, that would leave that up to him. And anytime it would happen, it's like, I bet it's him. Yeah, it is. So yeah, God of War and sorry, we heard a noise. I feel like there's some other stuff other than Destiny that I was playing. I downloaded a couple of things on Xbox, but I haven't done anything with them. So anyway, Destiny, the new season started on Tuesday, so I've jumped into that, and I'm going through that. I did the new dungeon launched yesterday, and I ran through that this morning with guys from the clan.
This is this a Lightfall?
This is not Lightfall. Lightfall is the new expansion that comes out in February.
Okay.
This is the final season of the Witch Queen expansion.
Okay.
That runs through until the new thing comes out. This is Season of the Seraph, I think is what it is. And this was Tower of something. Spire of the Watcher is the name of this dungeon. So you go through that, you climb your way up to the top of the spire, defeat the first boss. Then you make your way all the way back down to like the basement of the place and kill the final boss. So, yeah.
A lot of traveling.
It is. It's not too bad. They got a lot of mag lifts, I guess is what those air lifts that you just jump into and it sends you up. And then, of course, if you want to go down, you just fall and then jump at the last minute so you don't die, because that's how real life works.
It worked in Borderlands. I remember that part. Borderlands I think Borderlands 2 just said, just jump off. We're gonna take out fall damage completely. So you're jumping off of like towers, like double-digit story towers, and landing the ground, and nothing happened.
Well, again, you look at Portal. You know, they gave her they basically gave her some weird-looking boots. And then said, "Oh, these are your shocks. You can fall from any height, and you're fine." Just so that they could put that in the game. In other words, we don't have fall damage in this game.
Yeah.
But how can we narratively include that into the story? Well, it's your boots have shocks on them, and so that's how. And there you go. You know, it's just make it obvious, I guess, or take something that's obvious and make it fit into the story, the narrative of the game.
Yeah.
So anyway, did the dungeon, got some cool weapons, didn't get any of the new armor. So I saw the new armor for the game, for the season. I'm fine. I don't care. I usually don't care about my armor. I'm going to equip it, whatever's the higher level, whatever has the slots I need for the mods that I got to use, whatever has the abilities and stuff, the resilience. I don't really care about my looks. I've never cared about how I look in the game. I never have. I've messed around with the shaders and things like that to where I look ridiculous because that's how I feel about it. But the armor that they used for this dungeon, which none of it dropped for me this morning when we played, is Western themed. And I like it. I like it a lot. Like
As in Old West?
Yeah, hunters get a hat.
Oh, the gunslinger's hat?
Yes. Okay. Yes. You get a hat, man. It's great. Trench coats, or not trench coats, but
dusters.
Dusters, man. Yeah. And what are they called?
Bandolier.
Bandoliers. There you go. You know, just it looks really, really good. And the hunters, which is the main thing that I play, finally doesn't have something that looks like crap. In fact, everybody's looks good. The warlock, the titan, and the hunter all look really good. It's one of those things I may actually go after all of them for my characters there.
Yeah, it seems but it seems like as with all lucky loot drop games, the more you want it, the less it drops.
Right, I know.
Yeah, you're gonna get a whole bunch of the stuff you don't need or don't want. There's no trading. There's no trading in Destiny, is there?
Trading?
Trading.
What's trading?
Trading. Yeah.
There's no trading in Destiny.
Yeah. You just stuck with it.
I know. They're used to Borderlands, you could do that, I think. In Borderlands, you could drop a weapon, somebody else could pick up that weapon, right?
Yeah.
And you could, I remember, there used to be games where you could do that with. Well, Animal Crossing was one of those where I, hooked up with Brianna, went over to her island, And I was brand new, and so she's like, here, throwing out money, throwing out tools, throwing out all this stuff. Yeah, you can't do that in Destiny.
Yeah.
And then you did that with me.
I did that exactly
when
with
I
her.
started.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you can't, you can't do that in Destiny. They have the transmog system, where you can, do a couple of bounties that are specifically for transmog, turn those in, you get credits to spend to basically buy the cosmetic aspect of it.
Yeah.
But you can't buy it unless you've already earned it,
Yeah. I mean, I've used it before. I mean, I've had like a set of armor for each energy type. And then Stasis came in and messed it all up for me. So I was like, dang, I got to get another suit of armor. Because I had all the things and specs to where I wanted it. But I think Karak 2, the type Karak armor, but it was mostly that for my Titan. And there was a certain helmet. No, it was Karak type. That was Karak as well. I think the only thing I really needed was the Lions group boots for the Titan, the one with the extra jump jets.
Yeah.
The one that helped me get more altitude in my jump. So I just had that for my legendary. But everything else was Karak type, and I had a set for each type. But in Stasis, I didn't realize how, it's not until you start from scratch you realize how much grinding you have to do to get your stats up for an energy type. And Stasis was just another one. I mean, being typically forced to use that thing to get it up anyway for the story aspect of the game. I knew it was going to be a grind getting that thing back up for another set of armor.
Yeah. I'm going to, apparently I didn't know or didn't realize this, but there's a whole subreddit devoted to Destiny fashion. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, it's not unique. There's plenty of, Dark Souls, the Soul series, they call it Fashion Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say show off your default attire. And there's some real good ones in there, some real weird ones too as well. I think someone made Kratos recently.
I'm sure.
And then someone made The Witcher. Someone made one based off of Rick and Morty. So I made someone based off of that. Someone made one based off of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Someone did that as well. So yeah, some very creative minds out there. Especially whenever you have an opportunity to build your own character, build your own set like that, you have a lot of people who will get real creative out there and put some really good work on display.
I posted a link there where you could see what that. In fact, let me just post the actual image there, and there you go. So you can see what they're wearing. So. Yep, they all get hats. It's all very Western themed there, so that looks great. But anyway, done that. Played the dungeon, working on whatever. I banked all my bounties and stuff. I finally turned those in. Got me through 18 levels, I believe, at the very beginning. But now I'm like in level 22 already. So on the season pass, getting up to 100, working my way through that. So. That's what I'm doing. We'll run the raid tonight. Everything's brand new and fresh now. I say fresh. It's the same raid we've been running, but now my power is able to go up another 10 points. So I've got to go out there and earn the gear that gets me up to the 10 points. So running the raid again is essential to get me there. So that's what I'll be doing.
Oh, speaking of the Western theme, you got any skins for the weapons that look like Western rifles?
Well, if you look at the rifle that the Warlock's holding in that one picture, in fact, it's the rifle that's just right there in the, that's the main rifle he's holding right there.
Yeah.
That is the scout rifle. And I did get that on this morning's run. Not bad.
Yeah. Now I remember the old fashioned.
It was not fun to play with in that raid because it's not got the best rate of fire for what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I used it for a little bit and then I was like, nope, I got to have my submachine gun back because this thing is not, rate of fire is too slow.
Now I remember the old fashioned, which looked like a 1888 looking revolver. But yeah, that was an old Sunset weapon.
Yeah, that
anyway.
one, I think that one's called Long Arm. I think that's the name of the gun, is called the Long Arm. The other one, it looks a lot like there's an exotic scout rifle that you had to do, and I'm drawing a blank on the name. But it looked a lot like that. It had a very rifle look to it, rather than space weapon. It looked more like a actual rifle type thing. So
you're a space cowboy.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, space cowboy is basically what we're going for here. Yeah. We got to take a break. I'm guessing that's Chris on the line. Okay, Chris. He is very familiar with holding, and we're going to have him hold through this. I didn't mean to go as long as I did, so we're going to come right back and talk to Chris once we get back out of this break. We have music here from a game called Eldest Souls, which sounds like they wanted to get Dark Souls and Elden Ring, and they combined it to be Eldest Souls, although I'm not sure exactly when this came out. The name of the track is called Hunk of Steel and Flesh. We'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. This is music from a game called Chained Echoes. Not familiar with it, but this is the boss battle theme, I guess. Chained Echoes. Welcome back to the show. Let's jump in and talk to Chris. Thanks for holding, man. What's up?
What's going on?
Not much. What's going on with you, man?
I guess y'all haven't got to the stuff that happened in the Game Awards, have you?
Not yet. No, we're about to do that probably coming up to the second hour, given that we've only got about, 13 minutes left in this hour. I don't want to jump into it right now, so.
Yeah, I looked at, saw the different previews and everything. I got Diablo 4 reserved, and I want to see about getting the collector's edition of Final Fantasy 16, and I got the collector's edition reserved of Dead Island 2 at GameStop, and also I didn't know old Slick Willie was a rabbi.
Was it Reba? Oh,
Rabbi.
A rabbi.
The
troll that got on.
Yeah, I know that whole situation. Which honestly, they should be grateful that that's all that happened.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. I mean,
much worse.
Yeah.
What if that dude had purely bad intentions?
I mean, you told us a story during the break, man.
Yeah.
Just of just anybody just being flat out just nuts. That could have been it.
Yeah.
That could have been it for so many people.
And when I've seen some of the picture and all, he came from a completely different island, a different area, and that would have been the first red flag that they should have
I
picked
saw
up
him.
on.
Yeah, no, I saw. So in the cameras, when the cameras was showing that, I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, that guy's really small, but he's on the development team, I guess." He looks really tiny, because he was very short compared to everybody else, and I just thought, all right, that's fine. And then
but he came from the audience, right?
well, all of them did.
They all come from the audience. So
Yeah, they're all sitting in the crowd out there.
he's sitting in the crowd, but they're usually sitting together. So was he sitting close to him at the start?
Not everybody when you give out Game of the Year, it's a lot of people involved in that. If you're giving out game direction, then the game director is going to come up, or however how many directors. If it's a voice actor, the voice actor is going to come up.
Yeah.
You know, if it's sound design, it may be your composer and somebody else, a couple of people. But when it's game of the year, it's a lot of people involved, and they're not all sitting together that I know of.
So easy way to sneak up on there if that's the case.
Yeah, so I mean, he came out, just kind of got into the crowd with him, went up there. Nobody else was nobody from the Elden Ring team was like, "Who are you? What are you doing up here?" Nobody seemed to, probably out of the sense that they may not all know each other.
Possibly.
You know, it's a much bigger company than, say, if we did an awards here at the station, we're going to know everybody that's involved with that. You know, it's a smaller group. We're going to know everybody, but that's the thing. And so I don't know. They're going to go back and beef up their security, which is necessary now, much more so. Again, just because of mainly because of what didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because of what did. It's what didn't happen that they're going to beef up security for.
Could have happened.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah. Exactly.
So there's those helmets, by the way.
NASA.
Yeah. So there was, that happened and they did their spiel. The music came on and then he jumped in and the music lowered because he said, "No, it's my turn now, my turn." He wanted to get their attention. Apparently he's done this before, not in award shows or anything like that, but I mean, he's gone to like NBA games and had certain signs that make sure they get on TV or something like that. Free Hong Kong, a couple of other things. Like a professional protester, really, is how it comes across. Although this wasn't a protest, it was just kind of a prank thing.
Yeah, it puts me in the mind of the dude, the Great Imposter.
Yeah,
years back. Remember, I forget his name off the top of my head, but yeah, basically a dude who basically pranked his way into professional sporting events and things of that nature. Imposter, as the Great Imposter.
Yeah,
got in there and did that. So maybe someone trying to do something along those lines.
Drunk Degenerate says that he got in real life invaded.
I think there were memes like that.
There were tons of memes.
There was a picture someone put, and someone basically photoshopped him as red, full red, like a dark spirit coming into your game.
See, if you don't play the game, you don't know what it means, and so I don't get the context. But obviously, I know what it's. I know it means invaded. That's one of those strange things that happen. And honestly, I didn't understand him. I heard it and I was like, did I hear that right? Because it was so fast.
Yeah.
And his accent wasn't the best, but you could kind of make out the words, but I was like, that must be something I'm not familiar with, that I don't know about. Mm-hmm. I don't exactly understand what that means. By the way, I've learned a lot since then, about certain meanings and what things mean. So, but yeah, it'll be a lot different next year, I'd imagine, with security. Honestly, I guess anybody who is nominated and will be accepting the award, in fact, they'll probably have to give out names of, like, if you win, who is coming up to accept, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you get an armband, everybody gets these armbands. That way, if somebody's up there that doesn't have one, or somebody makes their way to the stage that doesn't have that armband, some sort of...
the manager at Game Store, the Retro Game Plan, where we're talking about that too, like, they, could have had that information about who could be nominated, and where they would be sitting, or who the people were that would possibly coming up, and have some of that information, or at least have, like, the Secret Service have some feeds coming into their ear or something where they can give out information as time goes on.
Yeah, it makes me wonder what security did they have in place, to be honest with you. I'm very curious as to what they had in place to begin with. And I mean, I'm
probably the standard fare until something happens to make a
What's
change.
The standard fare, though, for something like this? I don't know.
It's typical for big events like that.
Outside of walking through like metal detectors as you come in.
Let's say a concert. Have you ever been to a concert? What's the security like out there?
Well, at a concert, you usually have the venue security, like lining the front of the stage, or around there. It's all
Not
these
the shows I go to.
It's all these guys in yellow or whatever who are standing around, spaced out or that sort of thing. Basically, just so nobody takes the stage.
Right.
Tries to rush the stage. That's basically all they're looking at there, and trying to protect.
Unless they're brought there by the band themselves.
But you don't have that here because people go up to the stage.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I
So,
don't know.
So it'd be less than that of a concert, of course, because people are coming up there all the time.
Yeah.
So like I said earlier, it's not something out of the ordinary. Random folks coming up from random spots in the audience coming up there. So I think some prearranged seating.
Yeah, that, or I think basically what it would amount to is that you need a list. You can have this many people on stage for representation of your category or game. Please fill out the list of these people who will take the stage should they win. And somehow designate that so that they know if there's only supposed to be 4 people and there's 6, we got a problem. Yeah. There's only supposed to be this many, and then you find out from there who the people are, that sort of thing. I guess I don't really know.
Yeah.
That's what
they're going to be looking into it and figuring out different ways to do it from now on.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
so.
that's what's all going to be at this point. It's just they're just guessing, adapting as it goes along. They got time. They got another year or so, or until the next event.
Yeah, Chris, we're going to be jumping into the whole thing with the Video Game Awards here in the next hour. Just going over everything that was shown. There was so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff too. But yeah, I got done playing Star Ocean and jumped in finally in the new Sonic Frontiers game. I've been playing that, and then one of my other video channels I watched on YouTube was talking about the new Dragon Quest Treasures on Switch and how they liked it and what it was about in more details than I thought I wasn't going to like it and all, but it turned out to be right up my alley. So I ended up picking it up, a copy of that one too. So oh well.
All right.
But, yep, been enjoying Sonic so far, but it's pretty cool what they've done with it so far. I'm enjoying it so much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm glad I didn't pick it up. It didn't hit the price. I mean, it really was $20-$30, I guess. If it gets down to 30 again, maybe I really kind of want it on PC though. So I'll probably just sit around and wait for that to happen. Need for Speed, by the way, is about to go on sale tomorrow at Target.
Which one?
The new one, the one that came out, just a week or two ago. Need for Speed Unbound, I believe is what it is. That's the newer one. Okay. That's going on sale. It's first off today. It's Best Buy's deal of the day for like $41, which is already $20 cheaper than retail of when it released. Again, like a week or 2 weeks ago. Target, it'll be down to I think $39, which will be lower. Yeah, we could see it hit $30 maybe before the end of the year. Maybe. So, and I'm fine with that. I also don't need to play it on PC. This is completely something I could easily play on my console. Whereas with Sonic, I kind of want it on PC just for the mod community on that one. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, Chris, we got to run. Thank you so much for calling in, man.
All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
You too. Take care.
I'll take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. Yeah, we will get to all things Game Awards coming up next hour. Not only the reveals, but we'll hit some of the highlights with the winners and stuff like that we got as well from Thursday night's big to-do. So, yeah, and there's also more to talk about with Microsoft and Sony, man. Not Sony, but Microsoft Activision.
Activision, yeah.
Yeah, the FTC has decided to, we were going to talk about this last week where the FTC was considering, we're really taking a little bit more of a closer look at this whole thing.
They're looking at it, yeah.
But then they're actually suing over it now. So, I don't know. If this goes to court, and it is very likely to go to court now, I feel like we're going to get a lot of information about how Microsoft works and Activision works and maybe even how Sony works that we don't normally get, because all of these things will likely have to be made public for them to do this case. I don't necessarily know that it's some sort of private venture. I have no idea, but I feel like we'll get informed of things that, and it's not shady stuff. It's just stuff you don't normally have access to. Financials and earnings and all sorts of different things and contracts, negotiations and things like that. Stuff that you're not normally aware of. Yeah. Just works. And again, I'm saying that it's not shady stuff. It's not anything that's, skeezy. Considering Activision's involved, we might get something like that.
Yeah.
But actually, considering any massive corporation is involved, we might get something like that.
Maybe get some weird weird going-ons behind closed doors that someone can write a book about.
Yeah.
Like Console Wars, one of our favorite books.
Yeah, I know, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
We still encourage anybody, if you can get a hold of that book, have a look at it, man. If you're into video games and how things get from point A to point B, yeah, just pick up Console Wars and give that a look.
It's really, really good. Really enjoyable. All right, when we come back, we're going to hit that. We're gonna go over the Game Awards here. We have music here from a game called Ship of Fools. A Crabster on the Coast is the name of this track. It's got a fun little piratey theme song going on here, but we'll be back with more of In-Game Chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is another one I'm looking forward to hopefully dropping in price to pick up. Those were the two games, Midnight Suns and Need for Speed Unbound, two of the games that had completely changed my mind after they had released and started getting very good reviews. So yeah, Midnight Suns for the gameplay, because apparently the look of the thing is not great, but the gameplay apparently is something very, very unique and I guess fun. I guess that keeps you going. The Need for Speed is, well, I don't know. It's the first time Criterion has worked on a racing game in like 8 years, 10 years, something like that. They've been helping out with DICE doing the Star Wars Battlefront stuff.
Yeah.
They were doing the flying sections and the VR sections and stuff for the Star Wars, but they hadn't worked on a racing game in a while. So
they still got it?
Apparently, according to reviews, yes, they do. Apparently, this is the best Need for Speed game in a generation that they're talking about. So I say in a generation, but quite a big span of time.
Yeah.
Of Need for Speed, and never getting there. And then this one is apparently there. So we'll see. Welcome back to the show. Letha Migrant, we were just talking I say we were just talking, but he was talking about Phil Spencer and Microsoft not releasing any games, and he brought up Hellblade, and that triggered something in my head thinking, you're right, we didn't see any Hellblade at Video Game Awards. I was hoping we would. We haven't seen anything from Hellblade, or at least Hellblade 2.
Still Sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't seen anything from the sequel since not this E3 that just passed, but the E3 previous. We haven't seen anything since 2021 on Hellblade 2.
So the last thing I saw was that trailer where she was like leading a group of her...
with the big giant and stuff. That's it. That's all we've seen.
That was a minute ago.
Yeah. I say that's all we've seen. The announcement trailer was basically just her singing the song or something like that, and it just cut to title, and that was it. Then we actually saw the thing
fight.
you were the big fight and stuff that you were talking about last year.
Like her
that's
yelling
it.
out orders and things like that.
We got no new stuff, and I don't even know if that was 2021. It may have been 2020. It's just been a while.
Yeah,
is my main point. So yeah. Game Awards. I don't know if you want to go over the winners, but we're definitely going to go over all the reveals. And we'll start, let's see, Dead Cells. That sounds like a really cool pirate game. Dead Cells. That or really southern pronunciation of Dead Cells. Dead Cells. Return to Castlevania DLC, which they've got. That was a nice little... All that trailer did was make me want more Netflix Castlevania.
Yeah.
That's all that did. Hellboy Web of Weird. I missed that one. I missed the trailer for that one, but I saw the animation for it, and it looked just exactly like the comic book. Looked very, very good for that one. It also has Lance Reddick doing the voice, which is completely fine, given that he's a Destiny fan. He's a Destiny voice actor. Mm-hmm. Vampire Survivors coming to cell phones and is now free. For cell phones, they showed off Call of the Mountain for Horizon, which is the PSVR. Post Trauma, not sure, but it was a horror game. Viewfinder was a puzzler that lets you reshape the world around you with an instant camera. It plays with the perspective and gives some mind-bending Portal vibes. Atomic Heart, I did see some of that. Looks like, it's Fallout, but if it was Russian, and it's very, very shooty bang-bang. Scars Above, we saw that one. It's a sci-fi action-adventure shooter coming out early next year. Relic Hunter's Legend, didn't care. Among Us got a bunch of new stuff. Another game called After Us. It's a kind of like what goes on with the world after we're all gone type of thing. What happens next? Replaced, a sci-fi platformer with a retro futuristic vibe, pixel art, combat, and platforming. That was an interesting one I remember seeing, because I was like, what is this? What is this going to be? And then it's replaced, and I was like, okay, it's new IP. I have no idea. Street Fighter 6. Did you catch any of the Street Fighter 6 info?
A lot of new characters being introduced in there. I'm not sure how many is going to be available at launch. Still don't know, but it's nice to see the characters on display, like the DJ coming back. I saw that. The new girl, Mano, looks to be a ballerina-based, fighting style based around ballet, which is feasible to me because I've seen how fast ballet dancers can spin around on their when they do their pirouette. I've seen how fast they can do with that. But it's funny, that she's a grappler. So I would think fancy moves, long strikes, things like that.
Yeah.
But apparently she has
Wouldn't
a lot
be
of
a grappler.
grappling moves, like kind of like Abel from Street Fighter 4. Then they had the brawler Marissa. Usually when you think of brawlers, you think of big burly guys like a Zangief or Birdie, things of that nature. But you usually don't see large female brawlers in there. So that was the first for me. I mean, I think the only one I've seen before was maybe Annie Hamilton from Power Instinct. I think that was the last one I saw before that. There's probably more, but I'm probably slipping my mind right now. But yeah. Then JP, which seems to be a space control character, kind of like G is right now in Street Fighter 5. Trying to think of any others in there that was made an appearance. Not really, but yeah, there was
somebody named the thumbnail of this video that I'm looking at has somebody named Marissa.
Yeah, that's a brawler.
Yeah,
Marissa's the brawler type.
Looks like a brawler type.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. We got a June release date.
June 2nd.
Yeah.
Think, yeah.
And a 2v2 mode.
Yeah, it looks like something along the lines of exactly what it is. 2v2 is like double teaming one character, things of that nature. Yeah, like one juggles and the other finishes.
Well, yeah,
Things
it gives
like that
me
going on,
gives me Marvel vs. Capcom vibes, basically, which is where I remember you could do that with, you could have your multiple characters.
Yeah, they
And
would,
then switch out.
Come in, switch out, yeah.
Yeah.
Or come in to do a team super, things of that nature. Yeah.
Got to look at Hades 2, which is the first sequel that Supergiant Games has ever made. They've done a lot of games before, but this is the first sequel that they have ever done of their games. New story, new weapons, new villains. So yeah, Hades 2. I haven't played the first one. A game called Judas. This was made by Ken Levine.
BioShock?
Yep.
BioShock name? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's the thing about... So, I was reading a little bit, some comments. So Ken Levine left his development studio, was it 2K, I guess? He left them and wanted to go off and do his own thing. Mm-hmm. Apparently his own thing is more BioShock. Because this looks, and I don't know if you've seen this, but if you've seen the trailer for Judas, it gives off a very BioShock vibe. I mean, it looks like it's set in the BioShock universe. It looks like if he was still with 2K, this would be somehow tied in to his whole BioShock narrative. With BioShock and then BioShock Infinite and then BioShock Judas or whatever they wanted to call it.
Is it the same? Is it the same feeling you get from Dead Space and Callisto Protocol?
Yeah, easily.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
Easily. It is. It's still in the first person. The hand animations look exactly the same whenever you use. It's even got that whole plasmid sort of thing going on.
Same game, different skin.
Where you can shoot with one. You can shoot weapons, or you can inject yourself or put something on where you can throw fire or freeze or electricity. It's exactly yes.
Rage, my favorite.
I mean, I can't say that it is exactly like that because again, we're only seeing the trailer and I have no context for story or anything like that. But
that's how it's looking.
I know.
That's how it's
but
looking.
the thing I don't understand is that he left 2K to go do his own thing because he wanted to do his own thing. But his own thing apparently is just more BioShock. So why did you leave? Why did you just I don't know.
Probably direction. He wanted to go in a certain direction, and they wouldn't allow him to.
That's the thing. He didn't want to continue to make more BioShock.
But you're making more BioShock.
But yeah, seemingly, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see. Bayonetta Origins. Yep. Which I guess will be on the Switch. It does not play like Bayonetta, obviously. It's got a, I don't know, have you seen the trailer for that? Okay. It is not, I don't even know who the developer on it is. I don't think it's Platinum.
Platinum Games?
I don't think so. It does not look like a Platinum title, I can tell you that. It looks like they licensed out the IP to some other studio to say,
When
hey.
I hear the name, I think about some, the bundle of 1 and 2 or something like that.
Well, it says Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. Am I pronouncing that right? I don't know if that's a character in Bayonetta.
Cereza?
Yeah.
You mean Bayonetta?
Cereza.
Yeah, Bayonetta.
Okay. Oh, that's the name?
Yeah.
That's her name?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't know that.
So it's a prequel, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be. Well, Bayonetta Origins, yeah. We got to look.
That's what I'm saying. Every time I hear Origins, it's like the older games before the one that you're playing came out. But yeah. Storybook style game. Adventure, controlling.
I don't know if it's just for the Switch or not. March 17th.
Nintendo still got the exclusives rights, right?
Yeah, never mind. It is Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yep. Sega, Platinum, and Nintendo. So it is Platinum. Mm-hmm. That's interesting because it does not look like a Platinum game at all, man. We got a new look at Destiny 2 Lightfall, which comes out in February. Got a new trailer for that. Got a new trailer, I suppose. It was Suicide Squad for their new game for Kill the Justice League. It was basically just a whole little tribute to Kevin Conroy. Is essentially all they were doing, it seems. There was not much to know other than we did get a release date. And we did find out that his final performance as the voice of Batman will take place in Suicide Squad. which releases next year. I think next May. I think Jeff said May at the end of his little introduction for it. Got to look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is a sequel to Jedi... whatever that last one was. The Respawn Entertainment.
Jedi Command?
Jedi something. I've already forgotten what it was. Jedi Outcast? Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay.
Jedi Fallen Order, so Jedi Survivor, which is the sequel for that one. Maybe co-op? I don't know. I don't think so. But you do apparently get to team up with somebody else and have combat with. I'm not sure. Game called Earthblade, which was from the creators of Celeste. It's kind of platformy. You asked about this when it showed up on. You said, "What style would you call that game?" And I said, "That's side scroller, platformer type thing."
Retro side scroller.
Mm-hmm. We got a new look at Dune Awakening, a survival MMO. Death Stranding 2 was a big reveal.
Y'all played the first one?
I have not.
Wendy? No.
I have not played the first one. So just from Jeff's introduction of this trailer, because he didn't say it was Death Stranding 2, he just hyped up the company, or the developer for it. Didn't even mention the developer by name, just his hype into it. I knew it was Kojima because he's got a big place in his heart for Hideo Kojima. Man, he loves Hideo Kojima. And so, yes, he hyped this one up. And as it played out, I thought it's probably Kojima. I just didn't expect Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be something completely different. But nope, it's a sequel to Death Stranding 2.
Yeah, they came out in 2019, so...
Yeah.
3 years.
In fact, this is from Kotaku's reporting on this. He said, "Well, we didn't know this was coming, but boy, did it get a reveal. A full trailer full of Hollywood elite. And then afterwards, Kojima walked on stage. Death Stranding 2 is coming. It looks like there will be some freaky stuff." Yes, I know. It's Kojima, so it always is going to be that way. But yeah. Tekken 8 got a trailer.
I think one of the main players said it was like a little underwhelming, but yeah, it looked like standard fare to me.
Yeah, it says Tekken 8 is this is from whoever wrote this article. Tekken 8 is coming, fighting game fans, and it's bringing back some old favorites like Paul, Law, and Jack 8. I don't know who those people are, but if you're a Tekken fan, you're probably psyched.
Yeah, so if you're Paul, expect the Phoenix Smasher to take half your health on a counter hit. That's one. Jack 8 probably going to have some really sadistic looking throws. And who'd you say else was there?
Law, Paul, Law, and Jack 8. Law.
Martial law or forest law? Probably martial.
I mean, I'm watching the trailer now, but I have no idea.
Basically, you're Bruce Lee.
It's Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee, homage to Bruce Lee.
Oh, there's the guy with the tiger head. I don't remember what his name. King. That's right. Yep.
Rolling Death Cradle. I can see it already.
Tekken 8.
Mm-hmm. I think with the trailer you saw that the lady at the end, Jun Kazama. I think
I didn't see this trailer actually. I don't know where I was, but I didn't see this trailer.
Yeah. You see a lady dressed in white, black hair.
I didn't see this trailer, so I don't know.
When you see her.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You see it eventually. That character is Jun. Jun. I think she was a fan favorite. People would like to see her back, even if she's dead in the storyline. People want her back. So,
got no release date on that one. Yeah. Immortals of Avum. I might be saying that. Ascendant Studios, from people who worked on Call of Duty and Dead Space. It's a first-person magic-based shooter that has super fast combat and magic. So, yeah, we'll see. Game called Nightingale. I don't know what that is. Not sure what it is, or even how it plays. Baldur's Gate 3 was shown off. Some more of Baldur's Gate 3, which is not coming out until August. Game called Wayfinder, which is a free-to-play action RPG. Diablo 4. Diablo 4 had a date announced at the Game Awards, so yeah, Diablo 4 is on the way. Which we knew it always was, but, you know, more info was nice. The fact that we still didn't get any Hellblade really was kind of disappointing. Fire Emblem Engage was shown off. Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, the new DLC for Forbidden West, was debuted. Not sure when that comes out. A game called Blue Protocol, which is an action MMO. Bandai Namco and Amazon Games teaming up for that one. Transformers Reactivate, a brand new 1 to 4 player online action game. I didn't know. I thought it was some kind of mech game, but then it's Transformers. I liked the trailer. I liked the little reveal on this because you didn't know what it was at first until you saw the hands in first person mode, and you're like, "It's Transformer hands. That's a Transformer." Got some new. We got an actual full length scene from the Super Mario Brothers movie shown off. Remnant 2. I liked what I saw of Remnant 2, which makes me want to go back and look at Remnant. Remnant from the Ashes, a sequel to that. Third-person cooperative shooting and looting. Behemoth. This got my attention. It gave off some Shadow of the Colossus vibes, but like with a grappling hook and swinging from these gigantic beings. Again, I have a problem with my megalophobia or whatever it is, where large things kind of throw me, but I am, they call to me, man. It's like, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it because I'm scared to do it. And this is a MetaQuest VR game. If it holds, and I don't know that it will, and I should go back and watch it again. This was just me watching it and being tired and going in and out of whatever, but thing looked really good for a VR game. I thought it was a console game. But then the MetaQuest logo came up or whatever, and it's not. But this really, really got my attention.
You mentioned grappling hooks and swinging from place to place. Does it remind you of Spider-Man?
No.
Spider-Man in VR?
I haven't played Spider-Man in VR. So no, it didn't remind me of that.
Yeah. I was wondering if it was if Spider-Man has a VR set.
It does.
If the swinging around, and that would be something like that.
That's a good question. I am not sure. I know Iron Man has a VR thing as well, and so does Spider-Man. But I haven't played either of them. Anyway, I really liked what Behemoth was showing, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden, which had some Game of Thrones vibes with it. It was also very dark. Not dark as in moody, but dark as in like not very well lit. Yep. What else do we have? Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. That was also announced. Yeah, there's Drunk Degenerate. I got to rewatch that Space Marine 2 trailer. A game called Meet Your Maker. We saw Meet Your Maker at a couple of E3s ago. I can't remember how long ago. Maybe it was at last year's Video Game Awards. I'm not sure. It's basically where you build a tower defense, and then another player has to make their way through that. So you build the defenses, and then another player comes through it and tries to beat the tower that you built.
So like Super Mario Maker.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. I like the concept. I don't know if it's going to be good in the execution, but I do like the concept. So, let's see. Crash Team Rumble. That was just a Crash Bandicoot fighting game. 4v4 fighting game. Like, it's just Smash. Yeah, exactly. Lords of the Fallen. They told us what this was at the beginning, but halfway through the trailer, I'm like, what is this? Because for whatever reason, I was suddenly interested. Dark fantasy action RPG. Lords of the Fallen. I really liked what I saw of that. This next one, I have no idea what this is. It was very oddly introduced on stage. then the trailer rolled out, and I was like, what is this? Why? Because it has, celebrities in it that look like themselves, as a cast of characters in it. Michael Madsen's in it. Danny Glover is in it. Kim Basinger, I think we saw in it as well. Michael Rooker is in it. Vanilla Ice is in it. I don't know. It's called Crime Boss.
Yeah.
What do you know? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about it. It just looks like some Grand Theft Auto type thing, criminal empire building type game.
Yeah, Danny Trejo is in it as well. So that was, just out of nowhere, it's going to be this. And it's like, okay, I don't understand what it is or how it's going to play. It looks like it's this is what they say. This is the most 90s game I have ever seen. Let's see, de-aged Michael Madsen, Danny Glover, and Kim Basinger star in a game that seems determined to wash the taste of Saints Row out of your mouth. Call of Duty's getting a raid. That's cool. A whole raid to go through. The first ever Call of Duty raid mode is coming. I don't know how many players can do it. It looked like 4 or 5 to run a raid. I think that's great. I wish they had raids back when I was playing Call of Duty. Oh yeah, Chuck Norris is in it too. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, it looks like Texas Ranger too. Yeah.
I know. It's just weird how it just seems out of nowhere. I hadn't heard anything about this. And I still honestly don't know how any of it's going to play. It looks like it's a first-person shooter, but I don't know.
I'm just looking at the thing. It says, Michael Madsen, Kim Basinger, and Chuck Norris lead an all-star cast in a stylish open-world crime game.
Yeah.
Coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series
Which
X.
makes me think of GTA.
Yeah.
Back when they would have, celebrities in GTA games, which really only makes me think of Vice City.
Yeah. Crime Boss, Rockay City.
Yeah. Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a DLC called Phantom Liberty, which will have Idris Elba in there, which he actually does look like himself, but yeah. So
only on current gen systems, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and PC.
Yeah. PC as well. I didn't know that From Software has From Software always developed the Armored Core games?
To my knowledge, no, but they were working on the the mech game.
Yeah, Armored Core 6.
Yeah.
Fires of Rubicon. Mm-hmm. When this came on, I loved everything I saw of it. I loved the style, the aesthetics, everything about it. I was like, this looks really, really good. What is this? And then even while I was playing, I said, God, this looks like a From Software game. And I thought,
my apologies, but yeah, they have been working on Armored Core before.
Really? I didn't know this.
Yeah, since '97.
Wow.
Yeah, Armored Core Project Phantasma.
I had no idea.
Master of Arena.
I mean, watching it, I'm thinking this looks like a Souls game, but I don't think it is, because if it's a Souls game, it's going to be more Elden Ring, or it's a remake of Demon Souls or Dark Souls or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything about it was telling me this is not right to be a From Software game.
I guess it's just one of them things that, you make a title that's so well received or so popular that this all you're known for. So you're like, yeah, we did more than the Soul series. So yeah, that's probably where that really came from. But yeah, they've been working on they've had Armored Core since '97. Yeah.
But apparently, when was the last time? When did Armored Core 5 come out? Let me look at this.
2012.
Really? Wow. All right, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Final Fantasy 16. More stuff, more footage from that. Did it mention? I guess it didn't. I think it's got a release date. So yeah. That's what we got from, here's that first comment. This guy says, it really sucks that Ken Levine killed Irrational Games, which is who he was with, Irrational, and put a ton of people out of work because he wanted a smaller, leaner studio to do something different than BioShock. And then the first game he makes with that new studio is BioShock in all but name. Seemingly.
Yeah.
It really seems that way. Somebody else chimed in and said 2K gave him near a decade to run that studio with no hint of anything concrete throughout that time. My bet is he ran that studio into the ground going full Artur mode, and finally, like 6 years in, 2K gave him an ultimatum and said, look, do these results, or, ultimatum to start showing results, and he reverted to making what he knew, which is apparently BioShock. Something very similar to it anyway. So, Final Fantasy 16, I remember seeing a trailer, I think at E3, maybe it was this year or last year. I was really interested in it. You could turn into these big giant beasts and start fighting and stuff, and I was like, man, I'm not normally into Final Fantasy, but this has really gotten my attention. Oh wow, they went into overtime. Sorry, I just now noticed that the Army-Navy game went into overtime. So just I was interested in it, and then I watched this trailer, and I'm like, okay, I'm hoping my interest is still there. It is. It shrunk. It got a little less, but it's still interesting. I'm still interested, and I'll wait and see more. But it didn't hype me as much as that first trailer that they showed for it. So anyway. There's all the trailers from the Game Awards. I'm not going to go over all the winners. We'll hit some of the highlights of the Game Awards, but I won't cover every single award that was given out. We got to take a break, though. When we come back, we will do that, and we'll try and jump into some news as well. We have got music here from a game called, oh man, it's another one to try and pronounce. Ixion? Ixion.
Ixion?
Ixion? Yeah, it's Ixion.
Well, you said, I thought it would start with A.
I know. Well, Ixion, Ixion? I don't know.
Okay, where's Z come from?
Well, it's like Xerox. But,
Ixion.
Yeah.
I say Ixion.
Ixion?
Ixion,
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure. I'll have to, you know what? Probably have to look something up online and see if I can get a pronunciation on the thing. Anyway, it's called Across the Void is the name of the track. We'll be right back with more of In-Game Chat after this. Welcome back to In-Game Chat. Music here from a game called Kinseed. K-Y-N Seed. Dreamy Day. It's a city, not a city builder, but a farming sim type thing. One of those things where you build your home, then you build a garden, and then that sort of thing. Life sim sort of whatever. Stardew Valley,
Yeah.
My Time at Portia, stuff like that. Welcome back to the show. Some of the awards that were given out at the Game Awards, and we'll go over those because we haven't touched them. But Zelda won Most Anticipated Game. I think that's a stupid award. Best Adaptation was seemingly new. I don't think it's completely brand new, but from everything that gets made into media of other, from games that get into media, like Castlevania becoming an anime series. Mm-hmm. You had Sonic the Hedgehog 2, The Cuphead Show, Uncharted the movie, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which is on Netflix and is also anime, and you had Arcane League of Legends, which won Best Adaptation. Arcane, really good. Wendy and I enjoyed it. I was hoping they were going to get up there and mention, hey, second season, we're working on it, or it's coming soon. They said nothing. But I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know a thing about League of Legends.
Yeah, I was about to mention, a lot of folks were saying, even if you don't know anything about League of Legends, I'm one of them.
They got it.
It was pretty good. Yep.
Army won. Sorry.
I know nothing, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Put your mic. I'm sorry.
know.
I'm sorry. I
What's
thought I
wrong
turned
with
your mic
you?
on.
There you go, pressing buttons.
No, I turned that one on instead of yours. Sorry. Yeah. And they're storming the field.
Yep. Army Navy.
That's a good game.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of it, but it was really good to glance over and look at the score from time to time.
Yeah.
And
So
then see that.
basically, Arcane was basically just a story of the hard life in that city and the kids, what they had to do to raise up and basically survive. Not
I
even
loved
prosper,
it.
just survive.
Yeah.
It was
in that
really
city.
good. The animation was fantastic. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
So I was really glad to see that it won.
So about that conclusion, you remember the conclusion of it, the last episode?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
left it open for more.
left it wide open for more. Yeah, always leave them wanting more.
I
So,
know.
yeah.
So I hope they give us more. Did you see AC Wraith's comment?
Good.
Best debut indie game. Cult of the Lamb, Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic. I did not expect Stray to win this one, but they won it. I was thinking Neon White or I was hoping for Cult of the Lamb.
Same.
But no, Stray won. And I have not even played Stray. I don't know anything about it. So, I mean, I know stuff about it, but I don't know.
Cat
anything.
Simulator.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. What else did we get? I've got a sneeze coming on, and I apologize. Best role-playing game, Elden Ring. Best action adventure was God of War. Best action game was Bayonetta 3. What do we have? VR. Moss Book 2 got that one. Whatever the nominees are. Among Us VR, After the Fall, Red Matter 2. I really should play Red Matter 2. I think that's a nice little VR puzzle game. I should look into that. Innovation and accessibility was God of War Ragnarok. Very, very well done. The fact that I've made everything look magenta so that everything sticks out. Pathways stick out because they're magenta. Puzzle items that you have to use to maneuver, they're magenta.
So Mirror's Edge.
Huh? Yeah, no. But you didn't have to do that, but I went in and did that because I wanted to be able, those stupid Odin's Ravens things that you have to collect, there's like 48 of them. You have to find them.
I thought you liked collectibles.
I do. I don't like trying to find them. In other words, sometimes you could miss them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because they're green. They would blend in with the background at times. But when they're magenta,
Yeah, I was waiting for you to do that.
when they're magenta, they stick out like a sore thumb, which is perfectly fine. I know exactly where it's at. Hit it.
Yeah.
What else did we have for some of these? Best indie game was Stray, not Cult of the Lamb. In fact, it's the same nominees. Best indie game and best indie debut game were the same. Interesting.
What's the point?
I know, right? Final Fantasy XIV got best ongoing game, beat out Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, and Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, pronouncing that right. What else do we have? Christopher Judge, the voice of God of War. Ragnarok, the voice of Kratos, anyway. He won best performance, beat out Ashley Birch from Horizon, Charlotte McBurney from A Plague Tale, Manon Gage from Immortality, and Sunny Suljic for God of War Ragnarok. So yeah, audio design went to God of War. Best score went to God of War. Best art direction went to Elden Ring. So maybe they won 3. I think they won nope. They won 4. And I think God of War may have won 5. Best narrative was God of War. Best game direction was Elden Ring. Player's voice. So this was completely voted on by fans. Had nothing to do with anybody involved with voting in the Game Awards. Just completely by the public's vote. You had Stray, God of War, Elden Ring, Genshin Impact, and Sonic Frontiers, and Genshin Impact won. That's what happens when you let the internet vote on things.
Yeah.
Basically. Not that Genshin Impact is not worthy of that, but I would imagine, I'm surprised really that it wasn't like Elden Ring or God of War, but it was Genshin Impact. Game of the Year, of course, went to Elden Ring. So there you go. There's your award shows. Again, I'm not going to go through and complain about it. I've done it enough. Maybe I will in my write-up in the morning. I just don't feel like I have a lot to complain about. Not because I was satisfied with how they went, but just because I realized they're never going to stop. They're never going to change what they're doing. So why bother complaining? Other than the security now, that's about the only thing that's going to change for the Game Awards next year.
Yeah, in my case, it'll be the same thing as I always do. Just wait for the Cliff Notes version.
I mean, last year I went through and I started counting. Like, let me count how many times they actually legit give away awards. And I think we came up with like 5 out of a 3-hour event. 5 legit, maybe 5 or 6, less than 10. Maybe more than 5, but less than 10 out of a 3-hour thing. And then there were the speed awards, where Jeff or some other host gets up there and says, here are the nominees for this. Boom, boom, boom. The winner is this. Here's the nominees for this. Boom, boom, boom. Here, the winner is this. Like, he would did that for over
so
like.
When you
5.
say legit, you mean someone coming up to the stage and taking the award, taking a few
like
things,
legit,
and
giving these people the ability to thank the people who helped them do this, or thank.
Would you consider the acceptance speech from his home in wherever else that type? Would you say that as well?
No.
Like an acceptance speech from
like if they couldn't make it and they were doing it there. Sure,
yeah, that's a legit one. Yeah,
I would say so as well. Yeah,
so,
I would say anything
so with an acceptance speech or some words. After
anything where the
person,
winner gets to say a few words and thank, or gets to get that acknowledgement.
Yeah,
like that's the other thing. So best score was God of War Ragnarok. The composer Bear McCreary gets up there, goes up, thanks people, that sort of thing. He gets acknowledged, recognized. Best. What was the best ongoing game? Best, well, not the players' vote, but best indie thing, whatever it was. It didn't, you don't get to go up there and get acknowledged. These people who made these games, they're indies. They should get the time to do that. If anything, not to take away from Christopher Judge, who won the voice acting thing, but and that's fine for him to go up there. He should have that day too, but. We know who he is. We know that voice. We know who he is. We know what he's done. Hey, why don't we get to meet the people behind the indie game who do this? There was one, the best games for change or something like that. They did the accessibility. I'm glad they did that one and let somebody go up and thank on that. So I don't know. I think there's more room there, but it's not ever changing. So I'm just not going to complain anymore. I've said enough,
Until next week.
Until next week, more than likely. You're right. So, yeah, I know. He got big. He was not that big when he was on, was it Stargate? I think it was Stargate.
That's where I know that man from.
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks different. He looks a lot different. I think in his face he still looks the same, but he's definitely, dude bulked. So, Elden Ring is getting some free DLC here coming up.
Yeah.
Coliseum PvP DLC.
Yeah, see, it's the Coliseum PvP. Yeah, basically.
Is that something you're interested in?
I've never been really interested in
PvP, right? Yeah. I didn't think so.
No, it's just a one-on-one battle like they did with the other. They did with other Souls games as well. Basically, set up your format. Type you want to type you want to do, and they just have at it, beat the blank out of each other, which to me feels like, okay, so it's like an invasion, just you wanted it. You want to be invaded. So there you go. My thing was, I was just trying to figure out what weapons and whatnot was going to be.
How does that get used? Yeah, exactly.
Spammed and used, and what type of perks that we're going to do, or is it going to be like?
Is there matchmaking? Is it sort of
matchmaking? It's a matchmaking. It's a competitive PvP.
Okay, so it'll be set up. You guys will be fairly equal. No. Okay. I don't know, man.
No.
I don't know.
No. Someone's going to come up there with like Rivers of Blood and Millennia's katana and doing waterfowl dance followed by Rivers of Blood and just spamming those two moves and destroying people. I'm just thinking of all the foul things that happens, because this is what people do. Invaders do. They come up with the most efficient ways of taking you out at things that you can't do anything about, really. Except maybe, hopefully, parry or have some defensive stalwarts in your inventory to help you out. But I'm thinking of all the dirty. I'm expecting a lot of dirty tactics in droves in this playthrough, like lag switching or something along those lines. But yeah, someone's just going to start spamming techniques and things like that. Or if spirit summons are allowed, just start bringing a black knife Tish is going to be there and just start hacking away. And while you're distracted with her, you come behind the opponent and just start wailing on them.
Yeah.
So who knows? But I don't know. But yeah, it's just PvP for players who want that.
Yeah.
If you don't, have at it. It's free. Just put it on there. But you ain't got to join if you don't want to.
Will you give it a shot? Will you try it?
I might take a look at it here and there. I did with all the others. Just to see. I probably will see how bad it gets if I don't see it on YouTube or whatever, or YouTube or Twitch or whatever already.
The creator of Sonic got arrested again.
Mm-hmm.
He had gotten arrested before, and then he is accused of making financial investments ahead of the game's announcement. Final Fantasy is the one he was talking about. So yeah, it's very white collar crime type stuff.
Insider trading type thing.
Yeah.
And that thing Martha Stewart was accused of years ago.
Basically, yeah. And that happened to him before, so it was just over a different game earlier. So, okay. Microsoft made a 10-year commitment for Call of Duty.
Okay.
The original story, it says Microsoft has gone and in the event of its $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, the company has agreed to a 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty releasing on Steam and Nintendo. That was new. Phil Spencer confirmed that Microsoft has entered into a 10-year commitment to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo following the merger of Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. Before adding that the company has also agreed to continue to offer Call of Duty on Steam simultaneously to Xbox after they have closed the merger. More than likely, this was done in a sense to help with the upcoming lawsuit. That Microsoft is going to have is going to have the control over the Call of Duty franchise and going to keep it for themselves. It really seems like the big deal here is Call of Duty. And it should be, I imagine, because that's their biggest thing. Activision Blizzard. Even though it should be maybe, Diablo, maybe Warcraft, World of Warcraft or whatever.
No, which one makes the most money?
Obviously Call of Duty.
There you go.
Has to be.
Then there you go.
So that's where it's coming from. This whole thing is not necessarily Activision Blizzard. It's over the one title, Call of Duty. Yeah. And Sony's big worry that this is going to leave them without a Call of Duty title in their...
I expect them not to have Call of Duty. It's theirs now.
I get it.
What is there to talk about?
But it's apparently already alerted the FTC to say, we need to look over this. We're going to have to, we don't think this should, we need to look at a bunch of things here and decide if this is okay rather than just giving them the okay. which is interesting to me. That I didn't think they were going to run into any problem, but apparently it is, and apparently it's all over Call of Duty. That's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And apparently, in order to,
I don't know. My gut feeling is that it's ours to do with what we want. So
yeah,
what are we talking about? We
in
paid
order
the
to
money, we got it. There you go.
Yeah, in order to ease
Go
the
away.
sting of that lawsuit, they're saying no. See, we're not going to keep it to ourselves. We're going to put it on PC and Nintendo.
Okay, we're going to give it to everybody else but you.
Yeah, right. We got to go. That is it for our show. We want to thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and Steam and Discord and everything else. We went a little long. We've got to go. Here's music from Morbid. This is called Seven Acolytes. No, Morbid Seven Acolytes is the name of the game. It's the main theme. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.